Okay, so you guys have sent in some really interesting stuff for us to dig into this time.
Yeah.
We've got website excerpts from this thing called Venturi, a
Okay.
social media post,
Yeah.
and even a YouTube video transcript.
Wow. Lot to cover.
It is. But the goal today is to sort of cut through all of that.
Yeah, get to the good stuff.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
find those key insights and practical steps for building a solid brand. You know, whether that's a personal brand or a business brand. And we're going to pay special attention to how to deal with those inevitable challenges.
The bumps in the road.
Yeah. And also how important it is to have a supportive community behind you.
Right. A team.
Now, you, our listeners, want to get smart on this quickly, but also thoroughly, and that's what we aim to deliver.
The aha moments.
The aha moments, exactly, without making you feel like you're drowning in information.
Right.
So, with all that said, let's dive in.
Let's do it.
So right off the bat, one thing that struck me about this Venturi material is just how structured their approach is.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just giving vague advice.
Right.
It's a step-by-step process. And what's really crucial is they provide resources that are tailored to your individual needs.
Right.
So it's like a very personalized guided journey, which I think is really key.
Yeah, that's super important. And I think what's fascinating, too, is that it's not just about going it alone.
Right.
There's a real emphasis on joining the Venturi community.
Yeah.
So they talk about taking your ideas and turning them into recognizable brands, using what they call smart strategies, practical actions, and well-researched methods.
Yeah. And, you know, it makes you think about that question they raise.
Yeah.
Why do the rich get richer?
Right.
And their answer is that they jump on opportunities.
Yeah.
And they're talking directly to you, the listener, and saying, hey, it's still your chance.
Yeah, it's not too late.
It's not too late.
Exactly.
So fundamentally, it seems like Venturi is offering these three pillars.
Okay.
A structured path for learning a supportive network of people.
Peers, mentors.
Yeah, and access to that practical, real-world experience. And the aim, of course, is to cut down that learning curve.
Right, because that can be so long and frustrating.
Absolutely.
Oh.
So that kind of leads into this very direct question that they pose to the reader. What have you prepared to enter this, you know, cutthroat competitive market?
Right.
It's a real challenge to sit there and think, okay, what am I actually bringing to the table?
Yeah, and how ready am I?
How ready am I?
Exactly.
And Venturi presents itself as that solution, saying, you belong here.
Come join us.
And they even go so far as to say you can master your field in just 1 to 3 months.
Wow, that's pretty quick.
It is. And that you can start putting these ideas into practice on day 1.
That's the bold promise.
It is, but then they break it down and they talk about, you know, providing this personalized roadmap for your brand building.
Okay.
They have these monthly workshops with experts.
That sounds valuable.
And even individual consulting sessions.
So they really do give you a lot of support.
They do. And it's clear they're trying to counter that very common idea that mastery takes forever.
Right, you have to put in years and years.
Years and years. And they actually say it doesn't require light years.
I like that.
So now if we look at the perks of joining this Venturi community, they sound pretty comprehensive.
Okay, what do they offer?
They promise lifetime access, which is a big one.
Right, you pay once and you're in.
You're in. And they talk about having a practical program that's globally relevant.
Okay, so it's not just localized knowledge.
No.
It's broader.
It's broader. And they talk about providing effective strategies, helping you master those essential skills.
Right.
And, of course, that community support we talked about.
Right, having those people in your corner.
Yeah, and networking with mentors and peers. And then maybe the most significant one
What's that?
is that they claim to give you access to 4 years of experience all in one place.
Wow. It's like a huge shortcut if it works.
If it delivers, yeah.
Yeah, so let's see if they can back that up.
Well, I think that's where these success stories come in.
Oh, yeah, the proof is in the pudding.
Exactly. So they highlight a few different individuals and their experiences with Venturi.
Okay, I'd love to hear about them.
So first we have Samar Isa.
Okay.
And she realized she didn't need a ton of money to start her healthy sweets business.
Oh, that's interesting because I think a lot of people feel like you need a ton of capital to start.
Huge upfront investment, yeah.
Yeah, and that's just not true.
Right, and she learned to start with small steps and build a brand that was specifically targeted towards her customers.
Yeah, her ideal audience.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Then we have Samar Abu Ryan,
Oh, okay.
and he really needed that support system for his skincare brand.
Yeah.
And he talks about constantly being encouraged. And, you know, this really highlights that emotional side of brand building.
Right.
It's not just about the practical stuff.
It's about having that belief.
It's about having people in your corner.
Yeah, so important.
So powerful.
Absolutely. And then there's Hala Shakir,
Yeah.
whose story is also really interesting.
Oh,
because she was an urban planning engineer.
wow. Completely different field.
Completely different. And she learned to use social media to create her own social media management and advertising company called Infinity.
Cool. So it shows that people with different backgrounds
Right, not a traditional marketing background.
exactly can successfully build brands with the right guidance.
With the right help.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then you've got Ahmed Khalil.
Yes. Ahmed Khalil, the graphic design grad,
Yes.
who managed to grow his small online clothing page into this recognized casual wear brand.
Oh, wow. So he already had some skills.
Yeah, he had that foundation.
Yeah.
But he was able to take it to the next level.
Take it to the next level.
And his story really underscores how important it is to have a clear identity for your brand
Uh-huh.
and to know how to market it effectively.
Yeah, and those are things that Venturi clearly focuses on.
Absolutely.
Right, so it seems like he really benefited from that.
Yes. And then we have Adil Bouaki,
Okay.
who's a physical therapy specialist.
So healthcare.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she learned the value of ethical marketing.
That's so important in a field like that.
It is. You've got to have that trust.
Right, integrity is key.
And her story shows that branding is not just about promotion.
Yeah.
It's about your core principles.
Your values.
Yeah. And finally, we have Kaysar Fakih, who found his passion in web design and development.
Nice. Digital.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his journey shows how a supportive environment can help you discover what you're really good at, build that personal brand,
Right.
and even start your own team.
So he went from solo to building a team?
He did. And he's even pursuing a UI UX diploma.
Now, what is that again?
That's user interface and user experience design,
Oh, right, right.
which is so crucial for creating those effective and engaging websites
Yeah, the things that make people actually want to use your site.
and want to interact with your brand.
Exactly. And it sounds like he really embodies that growth mindset they talk about.
He does. It's a great example.
Yeah. So overall, these personal stories really make the Venturi offer feel more tangible. They're addressing those doubts that people might have,
Yeah.
and they're showcasing real people getting real results.
Yeah, it's not just hypotheticals.
Exactly. And that's a really powerful way to build trust and show the value of what they're offering.
Absolutely. So they also go on to address some frequently asked questions, which is always a good sign of transparency.
Oh, for sure.
So first, they confirm that they're constantly updating their content.
So it's not just static, it's evolving.
It's evolving.
Yeah.
They talk about multiple ways to get technical support.
Okay, so you're not left hanging if you have a problem.
No. And then they explain their no cancellation or refund policy, which is because of that lifetime access.
Right.
But they highlight that they do have a 1-week free trial.
So you can try before you buy.
Exactly.
That's smart.
So they also answer other questions about adding team members
Oh, okay. Interesting.
and how they handle it if someone's not happy with their services. And all of this suggests that they're willing to be flexible.
Even with that lifetime access.
Yeah. And that they value their members and are responsive to their needs.
That's good to hear.
So they define Venturi as this comprehensive online community that's specifically supporting small and medium-sized business owners.
Okay.
And they do this through practical education, individual consultation, and specialized services.
So it really is more than just a course.
Right, it's a full support system.
Yeah, I like that.
So then they describe who would benefit most from joining Venturi.
Okay, who are they looking for?
Well, they say business owners who want to create a strong brand,
Makes sense?
people who are starting a brand from scratch.
So you don't have to have anything established.
No, anyone with that growth mindset.
Right, always wanting to learn and improve.
Exactly. And people who need that supportive environment to help them develop their projects.
That sense of community we were talking about.
And even people who want to learn brand building skills as a service.
Oh, wow. So they could potentially then offer that to others. Interesting.
And importantly, they say you don't need any prior experience.
So it's open to everyone.
Open to everyone.
That's great.
And they reassure potential members that you don't need advanced skills either.
Right.
They really emphasize that their resources are for beginners and that tech support is always available.
So they really try to lower those barriers to entry.
They do, and it creates this picture of a very accessible and supportive place for anyone who wants to build a brand.
Yeah, I'm impressed so far.
And they even offer some free resources on their website, which is a nice touch.
Definitely a good way to entice people.
Now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about this social media post,
Okay.
which is from Lama Ashore.
Now, who is that?
She's the founder of Venturi.
Oh, okay, so she's the one behind it all.
She is. And she's got some serious credentials.
Oh, like what?
Well, she's a certified international trainer.
Wow.
And she has a master's degree in business administration.
Okay. From where?
From Cambridge.
Impressive.
And a Jordanian institution.
So she's got that international perspective.
She does. And she's got 4 years of experience in helping startups.
Wow.
And get this, she's worked with over 100 young people in 2023 alone.
So she's really dedicated to this.
She is.
Wow.
And the post mentions that the idea for Venturi really started to take shape for her in that same year in 2023.
So it's a relatively new endeavor.
It is. It suggests that she saw a specific need and created Venturi to meet it.
Makes sense.
And her mission, as she states in the post, is to empower young people in her country to successfully enter the workforce.
Yeah.
And she wants to give them the tools and skills to compete with those big companies in terms of quality and substance.
It's a really inspiring mission.
It is. And it ties back into those success stories we were looking at on the website.
Right. It's not just about profits.
It's about giving back.
It's about making a difference.
Exactly. So now let's move on to this YouTube video transcript, which is called Between You and Me Program, Episode 2. When the plan doesn't go right.
Uh-oh. So we're talking about failure.
We are, and I think this is a really valuable look at what entrepreneurship is really like.
Right.
So far, we've seen this very structured approach and supportive community that Venturi offers.
Right, that ideal scenario.
But even with the best plans in the world, things can go wrong.
Of course they can.
And Lama Ashoa's story provides a real-world example of how to deal with those bumps in the road.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about it.
So Lama shares a very personal experience from May 2024.
Oh, okay, so pretty recent.
Yeah, where she had this well-researched plan with a significant budget.
Right.
And they were anticipating a high ROI, meaning they expected to make a lot more money than they put in.
Right.
But it failed to deliver those initial results.
Even with a good plan.
Even with a good plan. And even after thorough preparation with marketing ads and team training.
So they did everything by the book.
They did.
And it still went wrong.
It still went wrong. And I think this just makes the whole thing feel really relatable.
Yeah, because it happens.
It happens even when you think you've done everything right.
Right, it's not always a guarantee.
So how does she react?
Yeah, how did she handle that?
Well, she describes her initial reaction as anxiety and this feeling of losing control.
That makes sense. You'd feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, and even with support from her team and the trainers,
right.
The first 5 to 7 days were just really disappointing compared to that initial 4-day projection.
So it was like an immediate letdown.
It was, and it highlights those emotional ups and downs of being an entrepreneur.
Right, that pressure to see results. Quickly.
Yeah.
So what happened next?
Well, then she talks about this difficult moment where she had to accept the reality that the plan had failed.
Right, face the music.
And also the potential loss of a lot of capital.
Including money they had already made?
Including previous profits.
Wow, so it was a big hit.
It was. And that moment of acceptance, of realizing that things aren't going as you hoped.
Right.
It's crucial, but it's often very painful.
Yeah, no one wants to admit defeat.
And she mentions that she initially resisted accepting that setback.
Which is understandable. It's human nature.
It is, and it took her about 4 days to really work through that shock and that frustration.
So it was a process.
It was, and it reminds us that it's okay to feel those negative emotions.
Right.
They're part of the journey.
It's not about being happy all the time.
It's not.
It's about processing those emotions and moving forward.
Exactly.
So what was the turning point for her?
Well, the turning point was when she shifted from that despair to a mindset of learning.
Okay. So looking at it as a lesson.
Yes, and finding an alternative way forward.
So not giving up.
Absolutely. She realized that giving up just wasn't an option.
I love that.
And that ability to bounce back is a key trait of successful entrepreneurs.
It really is. You have to be able to take those hits.
You do.
So her experience basically boils down to 3 crucial shifts.
Okay, let's hear them.
Embracing failure as a teacher.
Okay.
Seeking the right kind of support from the right people.
Yeah.
And maintaining a flexible and customer-centric approach.
So always keeping that customer in mind. So what did she do next?
Yeah, what actions did she take?
Well, her immediate actions were really decisive.
Okay.
She stopped the plan that wasn't working.
Cut your loss.
Cut your losses.
Yeah.
She took time to really understand those losses.
Analyze the situation.
And then she focused on minimizing any further damage and trying to recover some of that invested capital.
So damage control and recovery mode?
Exactly. A very practical approach in a tough situation.
It sounds like it.
And then she changed her strategy completely.
Oh, wow. So a new plan.
A new plan, and she decided to work independently on this one.
Okay, so she went solo.
She did. This shows real adaptability and a willingness to pivot when something's not working.
Instead of stubbornly sticking to the original plan.
Yeah, you've got to know when to change course.
Absolutely. And what was the outcome of this new plan?
Well, incredibly, she was able to recover her entire invested capital within 5 days.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is, although those initial profits were lost.
Right.
It's a testament to her resilience and her quick thinking.
Yeah, she didn't waste any time.
She didn't. And throughout all of this, she really stresses the importance of acknowledging your mistakes.
Right, not sweeping them under the rug.
And then learning from them.
So figuring out what went wrong.
And then moving forward instead of dwelling on those negative feelings.
Right, learn and move on.
So what are some of the key lessons she learned from all of this?
Yeah, I'm curious to hear.
Well, first she learned that it's so important to acknowledge those losses and those negative feelings instead of ignoring them.
Yeah, you have to be honest with yourself.
And really understand why you're frustrated and why things failed.
So do a deep dive into your own emotions and actions.
Exactly.
What else?
Well, second, she realized that you need to seek advice from people you trust.
Surround yourself with a good team.
But also be able to tell the difference between practical business advice and just emotional support.
Right, you need both.
You need both. But knowing who to go to for each is really essential.
Yeah, some people are better for certain things.
And then third, she talks about the importance of reevaluating your goals after things haven't gone as planned.
So taking a step back.
Yeah, and asking yourself, were those goals realistic? Was the timing right?
Right.
Sometimes that overall goal is still valid,
Yeah.
but maybe a particular step along the way needs to be tweaked.
It's about adjusting based on real-world feedback.
And her fourth lesson is a fundamental one.
What's that?
Failure is a normal part of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I think people need to hear that.
They do.
It's not about avoiding failure.
It's about learning and growing from it.
Absolutely.
And she also makes a great point about seeing things from the customer's perspective.
Oh, right. Not just your own.
It's easy to get caught up in your own head.
Yeah.
But ultimately, a business exists to serve its customers.
Exactly.
So she also notes that when a team makes mistakes, it's often a reflection of the leadership.
Interesting.
In terms of the instructions and the training they provided.
Right. So it's not always the team's fault?
And it's about taking responsibility and looking at how you as a leader can improve things.
That's a tough lesson, but an important one.
It is. And another key takeaway is the need to develop flexible plans.
Okay.
Plans that can be adjusted when you hit those inevitable challenges.
Because you will hit challenges.
You will.
Yeah. So don't be too rigid.
Exactly. And the plan that failed, she says, was too rigid.
Right.
And that adaptability is just so crucial in the business world.
Especially in today's world, things change so quickly.
They do. And then she encourages us to see every failure or setback as a valuable lesson.
Yeah, reframe it.
It's about reframing those challenges as opportunities for growth.
I love that.
And she also talks about taking care of yourself during those tough times.
Yeah, your mental and physical health.
So getting rest, doing things you enjoy, eating well.
Right, those basic things.
Because those things are all connected to your ability to bounce back.
To be resilient.
Exactly.
So what's her final piece of advice?
But she ends with this really powerful statement. She says it's normal to feel frustrated and scared.
It's human.
But the key is to keep going.
To persevere.
And she acknowledges the specific difficulties of building a business in the West Bank.
Right, the context matters.
It does. And she emphasizes that the business world is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, it's not a quick win.
And the ability to keep going is what really matters.
I love that.
So when we put all of this together,
yeah, let's synthesize.
We get this really comprehensive picture of brand building.
Right.
We've got Venturi, which offers this structured approach, that community for support, practical tools.
Oh, how-to.
The how-to. And then we have Lama Ashor's personal experience, which highlights those inevitable challenges.
Right.
And the importance of being resilient, adaptable, learning from your mistakes.
So it's not just about having a perfect plan.
It's about how you respond when things inevitably go wrong.
Right, because they will go wrong at some point.
Absolutely.
So for you, the listener, the key takeaway here is that building a successful brand requires this combination of good strategy, community support, and resilience when things don't go smoothly.
Exactly.
Venturi seems to offer that structured approach and supportive community, while Lama's own experience really underscores how important it is to learn from failures and be willing to adapt.
To change course when you need to.
So this leads to a question for you, the listener.
Yeah.
What's one immediate step you can take today?
Oh, that's a good one.
It could be something as simple as thinking about what makes your brand unique.
Okay.
Or reaching out to someone who could be a mentor or a peer.
Right.
Or even just taking a moment to reflect on how resilient you feel you are and what you could do to strengthen that resilience.
Those are all great ideas.
So we encourage you to explore Venturi further if it sounds like it could be a good fit for you.
Yeah.
Or more broadly, think about the roles that community and adaptability play in your own entrepreneurial journey.
Whatever that looks like.
Whatever that looks like. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a good one.
It has.
See you next time.
See you later.